Hello and welcome to my tutorial on how to make a crochet heart cactus. There's a few items you'll need. First, some yarn. Any yarn will work for this project. I'm using Aunt Lydia's crochet thread in size 10 in the colors myrtle green for the cactus, fudge for the dirt, cream for the pot, and orchid pink for the flower. You'll also need a crochet hook in the appropriate size for your yarn. I'm using a 1.3mm hook. You'll also have to grab a yarn needle, stitch marker, scissors, poly pellets, fiber fill, glue, and a piece of cardboard. We'll work on the cactus first, starting with one of the heart humps. Grab your green yarn, a hook, and a stitch marker. Do 6 single crochet in a ring. Now we're going to do 6 increases, so you'll end up with 12 single crochet all around. If you have a hard time counting, like I do, be sure to place a stitch marker in that first stitch. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through the next few stitches and meet you at the end of this round. For your next round, you're going to go ahead and do 1 single crochet, 1 increase all the way around. So you'll do that 6 times. So again, 1 single crochet, 1 increase, repeated 6 times all the way around. So you'll end up with 18 single crochet all the way around. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward like we did in the last round. The last 2 rounds, you'll just single crochet around the whole thing. So 18 single crochet and then another 18 single crochet. So I'm going to fast forward through those 2 rounds and then we will finish off this part. Once you finish those 2 rounds of 18 single crochet, you're going to cut your yarn and you should have this like half sphere shape. For the second heart hump, you're going to just repeat exactly what you did for the first heart hump, but do not cut the yarn once you're done. Now that you finish your second heart hump, go ahead and grab your first heart hump and push your hook through that first heart hump by going from the inside out. It doesn't matter what stitch you go through, just pick any one you want. And then we're going to go ahead and push it through the second heart hump on the following stitch from where you're at. And then we're going to put 3 single crochet through both humps just like this to connect them. Now that we have them connected with the 3 single crochet, we're going to continue on the second heart hump. You should have 15 exposed single crochets. So you're just going to go ahead and single crochet over those 15 stitches. Go ahead and put a stitch marker in that first stitch out of the 15. That'll mark the beginning of your next round. And just like before, I'll go ahead and fast forward through this section. Once you've gone all the way around your first heart hump, you're going to continue on the second one. It'll have another 15 exposed single crochets, and you're going to single crochet over each one of them. So again, 15 single crochet over that first heart hump. Once you get to the tail on your first heart hump, you're going to go ahead and just crochet right over it and bring it with you the rest of the way. Once you finish those 15 single crochet around that first heart hump, you're going to continue on and do 30 crochet around the whole thing. So again, you're going to do 30 single crochet around both humps. Once you finish that round, what we're going to do is 3 single crochet and then a single crochet decrease. We'll repeat that 6 times. So again, 3 single crochet and a decrease 6 times. You'll end up with 24 single crochet all the way around your heart. Once you finish that round, you're going to go ahead and just do a single crochet in each stitch around. So that'll be 24 single crochet all the way around your heart. Now for your next round, you're going to do a single crochet followed by a decrease followed by a single crochet, and you'll do that 6 times. So you'll end up with 18 single crochet all the way around. So again, it's 1 single crochet, decrease, 1 single crochet 6 times. You'll end up with 18 stitches all the way around. Now your next round is just 18 single crochet all the way around. Next, we'll take a break from crocheting and stuff our heart with fiber fill. I like to pack the fiber fill in pretty tightly so that it can hold its shape and stand up. Now that your heart is all stuffed, the next round what we'll do is a single crochet followed by a decrease, and we'll do that 6 times. So you'll end up with 12 stitches around your heart. So again, that's a single crochet followed by decrease repeated 6 times. Now for your next 2 rounds, all you're going to do is 12 single crochet all the way around. So again, for the next 2 rounds, just do 12 single crochet all the way around. I'll go ahead and fast forward through the next 2 rounds and meet you at the end. Once you finish those 2 rounds of single crochet, you're going to cut your tail and leave a long tail for sewing. If you'd like, you can go ahead and add a little bit more fiber fill to your heart and finish stuffing it. And this is what your finished cactus should look like. The next thing we'll work on is your flower, so go ahead and grab whatever color you want to use for your flower. And we'll start off with a chain 6, but leave a long tail at the beginning of your chain that'll help us sew the flower onto the cactus. So again, start off with a chain 6 with a long tail. Right, once you're done with that chain 6, gonna go ahead and slip stitch into that first chain. This will make our very first petal. For the next petal and all following petals, what we'll do is a chain 5 and then slip stitch into that first original chain. So we'll do this until we have 5 petals on our flower. Once you have 5 petals on your flower, you're all done and you just need to cut your yarn and leave another long tail for sewing onto your cactus. The next thing that we'll do is actually sew that flower onto our cactus. So go ahead and grab your cactus, a yarn needle, and then thread your yarn needle through one of your tails on your flower. Alright, so to sew my flower on, I'm just going to go through the top of one of my heart humps, and then I will tie a knot with both of my tails. You'll see here I've threaded through, and I tie a knot with both of the tails. And then I'm going to go ahead and push my needle through the entire cactus. So here I'm just going through one of those stitches and then pushing it all the way through the opening of my cactus. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other tail. So again, I'm going to just go ahead and pull that tail all the way through my cactus. Once you've done that, go ahead and tie off those ends and then trim them and tuck them into your cactus. Now your heart should be looking pretty cute with its little flower on top. The next thing we'll work on is our dirt, so grab your brown yarn and make a magic ring, and then put 6 single crochet in that magic ring. So again, it'll be 6 single crochet in a magic ring. Now that we've finished our 6 single crochet in the magic ring, go ahead and pull that tail tight. And now we're going to go ahead and do 6 increases all the way around. So you should end up with 12 single crochet around your circle. So again, we're going to do 6 increases all the way around and end up with 12 stitches. Your next round, we'll do a single crochet followed by a single crochet increase. We'll do that 6 times. So again, single crochet followed by a single crochet increase 6 times, and you'll end up with 18 stitches all the way around. In the next round, what we'll do is a single crochet followed by a single crochet increase, and then another single crochet. We'll repeat that 6 times, and you'll end up with 24 stitches all the way around. So again, single crochet increase, single crochet, repeated 6 times until you have 24 stitches all the way around your dirt. Next round, it'll be 3 single crochet followed by a single crochet increase, repeated 6 times. So again, 3 single crochet increase, repeated 6 times until you have 30 stitches all the way around. Now for your last round, you're going to do 2 single crochet followed by a single crochet increase, and then 2 single crochet again. And we're going to do that 6 times. So again, 2 single crochet increase, 2 single crochet, repeated 6 times, and you'll end up with 36 stitches all the way around. Now that you've finished your last round, you can go ahead and cut your tail, leave enough so that you can do an invisible finish, and I'll explain how to do that. So you can remove your stitch marker. What you'll do is insert your hook from the wrong side to the right side in the second stitch from where you ended. So you see I skipped a stitch, inserted my hook, and I'm going to pull the tail through that second stitch from where you ended. So that's what it should look like at this point. And then you're going to go back through your last stitch and pull your yarn through the middle of that stitch. And this will create a fake stitch. So your round looks nice and even. You don't have that ridge left over from your last stitch. Next thing that we'll do is sew our cactus onto our dirt. So grab your cactus and a yarn needle, and then place your cactus on the center. If you want to pin it to help hold it in place, you can. I'm just going to go ahead and sew it on. So I'm going to do a whip stitch through your cactus and then the dirt. So you can see I'm going through my dirt, up through my cactus. I'm going to do this all the way around. Once your cactus is all sewn on, all you're going to do is pull that last tail all the way through your dirt, and then we're going to go ahead and tie that off. So I'm just going to place a knot in that green thread in my dirt at the bottom. So now your cactus should be nice and sewn on and secure to your dirt. The last thing we'll crochet is the pot, so grab your pot color and then make magic ring and put 6 single crochet in that magic ring. So again, 6 single crochet in a magic ring. Once you finish that last stitch, go ahead and pull your ring tight, and then what we'll do next is 6 increases all the way around so that we end up with 12 stitches in our circle. Alright, for the next round we'll do a single crochet followed by a single crochet increase, and we'll do that 6 times. So again, single crochet followed by a single crochet increase, do that 6 times until we have 18 stitches all the way around. For your next round, what you'll do is a single crochet followed by a single crochet increase followed by a single crochet repeated 6 times. So again, single crochet increase, single crochet repeated 6 times. You'll have 24 stitches all the way around. Your next round will be 3 single crochet followed by a single crochet increase repeated 6 times. So 3 single crochet increase repeated 6 times until you have 30 stitches all the way around. Now for your last round, you're going to do 2 single crochet increase, and then 2 single crochet repeated 6 times. So again, 2 single crochet increase, 2 single crochet repeated 6 times until you have 36 stitches all the way around. Now that we've completed the bottom of our pot, we'll start working on the sides. So to do that, we'll start off with 36 single crochet and the back loops. So again, 36 single crochet all the way around in the back loops. Now to finish off our pot, what we're going to do is 36 single crochet around our entire pot for the next 6 rounds, and we'll do that through both loops. So through both loops, 36 single crochet for the next 6 rounds. And what I'll do is fast forward through the next 6 rounds and meet you at the end of our pot. Once you finish those sides of your pot, do not cut the yarn. We're going to use it to attach our pot and cactus and dirt all together. So what we're going to do next is trace the bottom of our pot onto a piece of cardboard, and then we will cut it out. So you can see I'm tracing it and then making that circle a little bit more visible so it's easier for me to cut it out. Once you've cut out that circle, that cardboard circle, I'm going to put some glue on it. Any sort of glue should work, and then place it in the bottom of your pot. So you're going to let that glue dry so it sits nice and flat. Next up, we're going to go ahead and single crochet through our pot and our dirt. You can see I've lined up the pot top to the dirt, and we're just going to single crochet through both the pot and the dirt. So what I'm going to do is single crochet through the pot and the dirt until I'm about 2/3 of the way around my pot. Then I'm going to stop and then fill my pot with some poly beads and fiber fill. So I'll meet you at 2/3 of the way around your pot and we'll stuff our pot. Now I've stopped single crocheting at about 2/3 of the way around my pot. I'm going to grab my poly pellets and then start filling my pot with them. So they can be kind of messy, so you might want to do this over a plate or a bowl. Here I'm using an old container and then trying to fill my pot most of the way. Now you could leave it like this, but I like to add maybe a little bit more polyfill. Don't overstuff it or it'll kind of puff out in a weird way. So again, fill it with poly pellets. If you want to add a little bit more fiber fill to fill it out, you certainly can, but don't overstuff it. Once you finish stuffing your pot, you're just going to continue on single crocheting around your pot through the pot and the dirt. So go ahead and finish single crocheting all the way around your pot and the dirt. Once you've crocheted all the way around, you're going to go ahead and cut your yarn, leave a tail that's long enough so that you can do an invisible finish. And I'll show you guys how to do that again, this time with a yarn needle. So go ahead and grab your yarn needle, thread your tail through it. What you're going to do is insert your thread through the second stitch from where you ended, and then you're going to go ahead and insert it again through the middle of your last stitch. And now I'm going to weave in that end and then cut it. So you can see I've pulled the yarn through and then I'm going to cut it. Now your cactus is finished here if you want, but we can move on and make it a little bit cuter with a little face. Now to embroider a face on, I'm just going to thread some brown yarn through my pot. So I'm just using the same color I used for the dirt. And I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail through the other side so that I can tie it off later. I start off by embroidering the eyes, just by kind of making a little half triangle, so you'll see that going up and then through again. And then I'm going to skip a few stitches for the other eye, and I'll just repeat that same pattern. So I've got little happy looking eyes. So repeat it again, so we have 2 little eyes. And then for the mouth, basically going to do the same thing, just reflected in the middle. So another little triangle in between the eyes to create the mouth, so it looks like it's smiling. Now I'm going to thread the yarn back through the hole where I started, and then I can tie them off. So see here, I'm tying those 2 ends together. And then I'm going to cut those ends and then just kind of shove that whole knot back into the pot. I've got those ends cut there. I'm just going to use the needle and kind of shove them back into the pot. And that's it. You're all done, and you have a cute little smiling cactus. I hope you enjoyed crocheting with me.